What's going on, everybody? Mike here with iSMELL, and yes, we are in fact back at it with another video. Full review today. This is a fragrance that I purchased on a blind buy several months ago. I have been wearing it throughout winter. It has officially thawed out in Texas, so felt like the appropriate time to go ahead and bring to y'all my full thoughts and opinions on this fragrance after having worn it for right around 3 months. This one comes from the house of Salvatore Ferragamo. The name of it is Spicy Leather. So yeah, considering this is a full and in-depth review, we do have quite a bit to get through. I'm not here to waste anybody's time. Let's go ahead and get into it. So yeah, the house of Salvatore Ferragamo, it's always been a house that has piqued my interest, and that is quite simply because you get a lot for the coin you are spending. Now, the coin you spent in 2020 when I first started collecting is going to be different than the amount you're gonna pay in 2026. Nonetheless, I do think dollar for dollar, they do offer a lot for the amount that you are going to spend. Now, I purchased this one on Fragrance Net, I do believe. Not the cheapest Salvatore Ferragamo I've ever purchased. I think I spent right around $75 after taxes. But again, I think that price is justified and worth the amount that you're spending. I would not necessarily spend $100 for this fragrance. I do still think $70 is right around the sweet spot. It smells unique enough. Again, it's not a game-changing DNA, but the oils do smell higher than your standard, sub $50 fragrance. All right, so seeing as this is a full and in-depth review, it would make sense to go ahead and show y'all the full presentation. So I'll go ahead and put it on the fancy rotating wheel real quick. Aesthetically, on camera, I'm sure, it looks super nice. And I would agree, it looks great on the shelf, but I'm here to provide honest and unbiased opinions. Salvatore Ferragamo, they did a great job on the oils, but they cut costs on the presentation itself, because the decal where it says Ferragamo, it feels and looks very cheap in my opinion. This is all plastic. Cheap plastic, y'all. The cap is even cheaper. It's super lightweight, has no real weight to it. It will click into place, but you cannot confidently hold it from the cap, not at all. I wish they designed it in a way that securely holds the cap to the bottle itself. But yeah, do not pick this one up from the cap. This is a 100 milliliter. I believe it's a parfum concentration, made in Italy, I do believe, and the batch code will be at the bottom. It's just a sticker though, it's not like engraved. All in all, I would put the presentation right at average, 5 out of 10. So I'm not giving it extremely high marks, but again, for the most part, it is going to look good on your shelf. Just do not hold it from the cap itself. All right, yeah, so let's start talking about notes. Let's start talking about what I smell. Quite a few notes in this one. I'll go ahead and read them off to you real quick. Up at the top, you're gonna get bergamot, lemon, and saffron. Throughout the mid, black pepper, nutmeg, and clary sage. And then in the base, leather, patchouli, as well as a woody accord comprised of both cedar and sandalwood. So yeah, I'll give y'all a couple of sprays and let you know what I smell in this fragrance. Otherwise, I would not be doing the name of this channel justice. And just for the record, the atomizer is above average. It's slightly pressurized, so you can get a little bit or you can get a lot. Very good atomizer, solid 7 out of 10 atomizer. Now, a fragrance called Spicy Leather, it should smell like it was named, and they did the right thing and they made a fragrance that smelled like spicy leather. Again, had an expectation, that expectation was met. Now, immediately it's going to remind you of several different fragrances, although it doesn't smell completely like any of them. I just want to give you a reference point, a base point. So imagine Dior Fahrenheit, Prada Luna Rossa Ocean Le Parfum, Tuscan Leather. Immediately upon opening, you're gonna be hit with an amalgamation of two things. That's gonna be dry spice meets citrus zest. The citruses, they do create like this welcoming lift to the fragrance. You don't even outright smell citruses. It just gives the fragrance a bit of lift. And then the dry spice, very prominent, one of the main accords. Now, as the fragrance develops, it does develop as it starts to dry down. The citruses start to subside, and that's when you're gonna get that leather. But it's not a coarse animalic leather. So the best way I know how to describe it is to imagine leather goods mixed with spice rack in the kitchen. It doesn't wear very heavy, and then in the base, light touches of patchouli and then woody notes. All in all, I give the scent profile itself a solid 7.5 out of 10. It didn't blow my mind. It's not a game-changing scent profile, but I think it was done in a way that was thoughtfully executed so that People that enjoy the note of leather that can find it a bit challenging, I think it's a great entry point to people that want to experience leather, but actually be able to wear it, y'all. So all in all, I think it's an above average fragrance. All right, so let's briefly talk about seasonality as well as versatility and performance. A lot of people are hyper focused on performance and compliments, so we'll just briefly touch on all that. Again, this is a cold weather fragrance. I wore it all through winter, so as we move into spring, you could pull it off on the cooler days, but primarily this is going to be a cold weather fragrance. In terms of performance, it's not a screamer, but it's not a slouch either. I get about 4 to 5 hours if I spray my clothes, about 2 to 3 hours if I spray my skin. That's about on par with what you would expect from a Salvatore Ferragamo, so it meets my expectations in that regards. And then in terms of compliments, I do not see this one as a fragrance that has a high compliment factor. This is a masculine, mature fragrance for a man and a well-established man in his 30s. My wife has never complimented me on this one. In fact, she kind of said the opposite. But again, she thinks a lot of my fragrances smell like an old man. So at the end of the day, y'all, wear what you like, wear what you think smells good and what fits your personality. The question is, do I recommend this fragrance? And it's a tentative yes. If you enjoy the note of leather, I think this is definitely a fragrance worth exploring, especially at the price point. The oils smell above their weight class. It's not gonna be blind buy safe for everybody, especially if you don't like leather. If you are new to the note of leather and you want something that is extremely wearable, I do think Spicy Leather ultimately is a great option. All in all, I give the fragrance about a 7 out of 10, and it's a tentative yes as it relates to whether I would recommend this to just anybody. All right, y'all, so that's my thoughts and opinions on Salvatore Ferragamo Spicy Leather. I really do appreciate you checking out the video. More appreciative if you've watched until the end. For those of y'all that are still watching, y'all are well aware at this point that I do a giveaway almost every single video. So this is what I want y'all to do. Do me a favor, do yourself a favor, leave a comment below. Let me know that you do want to check out Spicy Leather. I will pick one winner and I will send you a free 5 milliliter decant free of charge. Just my way of saying I appreciate you checking the video out until the end. Listen, y'all, I am well aware that I do not upload the most content, but one thing I can promise you for the remainder of the time that I ever have a channel here on YouTube, you will always get honest, authentic, and unbiased opinions. That will never change, y'all. I really do love and appreciate all the support. Until next time. All right, good luck on this giveaway.